Hello guys, today this is GROUSE Construction Procedures here, and today we will be telling you how to create a knife holder. You can hold as many knives as you want. The most common amount of knives is 10, but here's kind of what it will look like. Might look a bit different depending on your wood. This is just a scrap bit of wood that my dog had chewed, so yeah, as you can see, it should look better than this because this is just a rough thing I did. So I'll take you through the steps in how to make one of these. Probably it will look a lot better than this, but still, gotta get the job done. Alright, let's go. So firstly, you will need a piece of wood. So I'm just going to do it with this. You could do it with pretty much any piece of wood because you'll end up shaping it to the right shape. So say you see an old bit of wood around the house, you can grab that. So I'll be using that. I'll be using a vise, probably not this exact vise, but yeah, I'll be using a vise. A knife for demonstration at the end. So of course you're going to need a knife to put, oh, that's the idea, you're making it. You're going to put the knife in there. So you're going to need that. You will need a saw. It doesn't really matter what type, there's plenty of types, but my preferable saw would be this one. So 50mm, 500mm hand saw by Craft. So it's a great saw. Highly recommend you to get one of them. You'll need a tape measure. You don't have to use one of these, you can just use roughly lines. You will need a pencil. Sorry, hang on. Yep, you'll need a pencil. This is a worker's pencil, hasn't been sharpened yet. Probably won't be using this exact pencil, but I'll use that in the demonstration. So as you can see that. So I'll be using that, a pencil. So, yep. You will also need a drill. So this is my 12-volt drill. This is my Ryobi 14.4 volt drill. So preferably you would want to have 2 drills because it's just more helpful, so you can use one for drilling holes and one for screwing. And I just have an extra one in case the battery goes flat, so I got this one here. So yeah. You will also need screws. These might not be the exact screws that I'm going to be using, but these are pretty good screws. As you can see, they're not flathead. They're pretty good screws. I tend to use them. We also have need our screwdriver bits. So I have these ones. These might not be the exact ones. I might end up using different screws, but if you're going to use these screws, you'd probably want to use one of these ones. As you can see, they fit in. So yeah, usually to measure the right size, you will put them together like that, and if they work, see that's slipping a bit, so you probably want a different size. Yeah, the other thing you're going to need is a drill bit. So this is like to screw holes in. So this is the preferable size. I cannot tell you the measurements yet, but yep, so that's preferable size if we're using these screws. You don't have to use drill bits, but since we're going to be drilling into metal, I would preferably use these. Because like, say you're using bricks, say you want to hang it up on bricks or metal, then I would recommend using a drill bit. So yeah, let's get started. Okay then, so the first step you're going to be wanting to do is draw with a pencil where you would like to cut the, I don't know, grooves, as you'd want to say, for where to put your knife. So the knife should hang in like that, and to do that we'll have to cut some grooves. So I reckon I'll do it with I don't know, as many grooves as I can fit in here. But as you can see, this is a bit too long, so the first step we're going to do is to cut it to size. So as you can see, I've already marked it out. I'm just going to roughly do it about there. So yeah, let's get started. Okay, then, so now we've finished cutting it. What we're going to want to do is we're going to want to get our pencil and mark where we want to engrave our knives. So I'm going to put one mark there, another 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 mark there, and we better not do it here because see how that's crappy, that could split since it has that, but sometimes it just looks nice to have that in there. So what it's going to really look like is it's going to be on this side, but we'll do all the markings on the back. So sorry, you probably couldn't see it. So what's going to look like is it's going to be like this, and there's going to be some slits through there, but the reason we're doing markings on the back is because that's the crappy side. So a good way to know that is you just do that on the back. I probably can't see that. So yeah, as you can see that, we do that on the back, so then you can know that it's the bad side. Okay, so put that back in the vise and do that. Okay then, so the next thing I'm going to be doing is now going to have to mark the slits. Oh crap, I put it on the vise for the wrong way. Okay, so I've got one slit there, one slit there, one slit there, and one slit there. Okay, you might not be able to see that, but yeah. Okay, so I'm going to be cutting where I've drawn it, so let's start. Okay then, so as you can see, we've now cut slits for where the knives are going to go, so they will just fit in. Alright, so now the next step is going to be, we're going to be drilling holes there and probably there, and then we're going to be screwing it to the wall, and that way you can just hold it like that, and it can just hold wherever you need it to. So like say you're in the kitchen and you just want to hold it, say you're, I don't know, you want to hold it in your shed because it's, you know, I don't know, who knows what you're doing it for, but there's lots of reasons. So let's go. Okay then, so it's quite important that you don't drill into your bench, so I'd recommend putting a piece of wood, as you can see there, a piece of wood underneath it, so that when you drill, it doesn't go through. So first we're going to mark it where it is. So the best way to mark it would be to go like that. So this is just the cover of the saw, just so you know. So go like that, draw a line across, hang on. The wood, just like that, then mark where you want it. So that means that you'll always get a straight line. So I'm going to do one marking there, and another marking there. So there we go. We have two markings there. Alright, and now we're going to start drilling. So, for those of you that don't know, I'm going to be using a Ryobi 14.4 volt drill. It's not the Ryobi 1 Plus because, yep. So, first we're going to be getting one of these. Oh, I forgot to put this in what you need. So you're going to need, you don't have to have one of these, but I tend to use one. It's like a thing where you can put your drill bits in like that. Okay, so I don't think I'm going to be using these screws. I'm going to be using, hang on, I'm going to be using these screws. Okay then, sorry about that. So I'm going to be using these screws, them, because they are pretty good for metal and brick and anything like that. If you were drilling it into plaster, I'd recommend not to use these screws. I'd use normal screws and then putty it up. But I'd advise you not to put this into plaster, because if you'd like to put it in plaster, I'd use better wood and I'd do it a different way. I'm just doing your rough thing to just do the job. So it looks good, yeah, it looks alright, but it's just probably won't go very well in the kitchen. You can put it in the kitchen, yeah, but you probably want to paint it up a bit and all that. It'll look quite good like that. So I'm going to be using these screws, and to do that, I won't be needing one of these screws, drivers things. I'll be using this, and I will need this part. So it really depends on what screws you want, but I have this part, so this isn't connected to the socket at all. This just comes on and off, that thing. Hang on if I can get it undone for you. Sorry, I haven't undone it in a while, so it might be a bit tight, but still. This is what I tend to use. It fits these screws very well, as you can see. All good. And yeah, so first step, just for those of you that don't know, we're going to get our drill and we're going to loosen it out. Now you can nail this too. Just I don't tend to nail for things like this. So hang on. We're going to get it to the right size. Okay then. Yeah. Okay then. So now it should be tight. Now that you've tightened that up, are you going to put that on drill? Drill is the little drill bit icon there. It's different with all devices. You're going to put push that in, so that's got an arrow. But generally it's lefty loosey, righty tighty. So as you can see, it's spinning to the right, so that means it's tightening. That will screw the screw in. Okay then, so now we're ready to go. So let's start. So I'm not. Oh, actually no. We're gonna drill this one just because we want to make it look good. So I'm just gonna use my Ozito 12-volt drill, because since it's only drilling, it's not that bad. Alright, now we're going to drill the hole there. So let's get started. Oh, sorry, this is a little bit flat. I'm just getting old, this drill, and it is only 12 volt. Okay, so as you can see, that's through. Alright, so we're going to do redoing this. Okay, so there you go. Sometimes you might want to do the back as well. I'm just going to do that. And do that there as well. There you go, so now you have two holes where you've marked it. One there on the marking, one there on the marking. You probably won't be able to see that too well, but just there, so. Yep. Okay then. So, now we're going to start drilling it onto a wall. I'm not going to actually drill this onto a wall because I've already got one, but I will be doing something quite similar, and I'll be drilling it onto a piece of wood, so let's go. Okay, and so now I'm just going to be drilling. For this demonstration, I'm just going to be drilling into this. It will be different with, I'm just going to be drilling into this wood, if you didn't see that. It will be different if you're doing bricks. If you're doing bricks, you're going to want to use one of these things here, because some people have brick sheds or brick walls in their houses for the look. So that's what it looks like. You're going to use one of these. I will not show in this episode because it's already going to be pretty long. So where it will be, I'm just going to be using this. I'm just going to demonstrate by putting it into a wood. If you would like me to tell you how to drill into bricks, then just leave a comment in the comment sections and tell me that you want to do that, and we will do that. So firstly, we're just going to be screwing that in there. For those of you that don't know how to use a drill, go slow at first, just so you can get it hooked in. Some people might want to use a clamp to keep it in the same position, but I don't really need that anymore, so it will go up a little bit as you're screwing. That's alright, just push down, and we should be good. Okay then, so I'll see you when it's done. Okay then, so now, there we go, we've screwed it in, and now that is joined to that. So, now the next step, oh, hang on, we'll reverse this around. I didn't fully screw it in because I needed to show you how the knives go in and all that. If you do want me to do that, I can do an exclusive video for me. Just tell me in the comments. So now, just so that's screwed onto the wall, that should sit like that. There you go, it sits in there. Now, since it's not screwed on, it will go off, and since this is on a fence paling, it won't work as well, so I would highly recommend you to use a thicker piece of wood, but as you can see, that's sitting in there pretty well. But if you are going to do this for, like, I know, commercial purposes, or even if you're just going to be putting it inside or in your shed and you want it to, and you about looks, you want it to look relatively good, then I would probably recommend you use a thicker piece of wood like I've used in my original thing. As you can see, I have this one here. That was my original one. I was just using a crappy bit of wood I found. I drilled the holes there. I've unscrewed it, as I could see, for demonstration purposes. As you can see, since it's thicker, it goes in so much better. So that means you can screw it on the wall and it will stay there very well. So yes, I would advise you not to use a fence paneling like I've done. I would advise you to use a piece of wood like this. But yeah, so now you can have it. Here we go. Say this is the wall, and let's say that's screwed on. There you go. You got your knife. All your knives can be hanging up there, and there you go. So I'm sorry I didn't tell you that at the start, but it'd be good advice to use a thicker piece of wood like I have here. Now, the reason this is all chewed up and all that is because this is a bit of wood my dog used to chew on, so I just found it around, so I just used it because this is supposed to be cheap, supposed to be nice and easy. If you do want to, you can paint this. If you're going to put this inside in your house, then I'd probably advise you to paint it. So, yeah, thanks for watching. Peace out.